All right, fine. The Christian Jesus versus the Gnostic Jesus. This one said, "You are gods, but you shall die like men and fall like one of the princes," which is a direct reference to Satan losing his position in heaven and falling all the way into the bottomless pit of hell, which hasn't happened yet. But such a thing has happened before in the days of Noah, where angels fell from heaven and ended up in the bottomless pit of hell. Do you know nothing of mythology and world religion? That's what happened. This one says you are gods, but how you act now is all important. You're currently made of dirt, silly. Now, the Gnostic Jesus didn't say anything. He does not exist. Now, we'll talk about the gospel in a moment. Let's talk about the Gnostic text first. Whereas the Gospels all agree with one another, let alone the entire Old Testament of the Bible, with an array of cross-references so stunning, they stopped counting after like 63,000. A perfectly cohesive story beginning at the creation of heaven and earth and ending at the creation of a new heaven and a new earth in eternity. Whereas the Gnostic text, there is no Gnostic Bible. By the way, the Gnostic text shows significant internal diversity. They don't even agree with one another. No cohesive story, no cross-references. People writing down what they think about what was written. They don't agree on cosmology. Different Gnostic groups, for instance Sethians or Valentinians, developed unique, complex mythologies about the emanation of divine beings and the creation of the world. Their own ideas. Some texts, like the Apocryphon of John, depict Jesus revealing hidden truths, while others, like the Gospel of Thomas, focus on his enigmatic sayings, often differing from canonical accounts. Views on the demiurge, the creator figure, range from ignorant and malicious to more complex roles. While some Gnostics use canonical texts, especially John, with reinterpretation, others developed entirely separate traditions, rejecting parts of the Old Testament, rewriting it. But what about the Gospel of Thomas? Surely he was an apostle of Jesus Christ. Nope. Gnostic texts were written by various Christian Gnostics, often under pseudonyms, false names, of apostles like Thomas or Mary Magdalene. The Gospel of Thomas was not written by the Apostle Thomas, sillies, but is attributed to Didymus Judas Thomas, a compiler who collected secret sayings of Jesus, likely in the mid-2nd century, though its exact author remains unknown. This non-canonical text, discovered in the Nag Hammadi library in Egypt, presents Jesus' teachings as a collection of isolated sayings rather than a narrative. The text itself names Didymus Judas Thomas. Didymus means twin and Thomas means twin, suggesting a symbolic identity. While named after the apostle, scholars widely agree the apostle Thomas did not write it, as it emerged centuries later and wasn't recognized by early church fathers as his work. Look, Gnosticism wasn't a single church, but a collection of spiritual movements, each with its own writers, leading to varied texts on origins, redemption, and divine knowledge. They don't even agree with one another. So what kind of Gnostic are you? Gonna have to pick one or live in cognitive dissonance. Now, I fully expect the Gnostics to debate themselves over which of the hidden knowledge is actually gnosis. Spoiler alert! None of it matches the logic or reason of our reality, whereas the Bible absolutely does, and without fail, I might add. This is why Jesus was able to speak in parables and to say, hey, there never was any hidden knowledge, and I'll reveal it all to you now. You know, the most ordinary, mundane things you witness and partake in every single day of your lives? Even waking up and going to bed, just like the sun rises and sets, only to rise again just like you the next morning. Weird. Seed falls into the dirt, no longer is a seed. What happens next? The plant comes up. You see the moon? It gets dark every 28 days. Then what happens? Do you see that you must be born again? And that every day of your life tells you this truth? That's not hidden. It's everywhere. And that every activity you partake in shares this same truth. Hey, wait a second. Is it like the laws of physics or something? How sure can we be that the Christian Jesus was telling us the truth? Number one, there are no excuses. Nothing has been hidden from you since the beginning of time. God made sure to put this story on every single thing in your reality. The sun tells it in a universal language day after day. The stars tell it in a universal language year after year. Wait, is it the laws of physics? The gospel of Jesus Christ is the story you obeyed to swim into the egg and be born again on a higher level of reality, much higher than that of a single-celled organism in a loin and a womb. Oh, you're a cosmologist? The gospel of Jesus Christ is the story of a life cycle of a star. Ye must be born again. Everything says all the time, everywhere. A hydrogen atom evolving naturally and in order according to the Schrodinger equation. How do we know that what the Christian Jesus said is true? He simply said, hey, look around, guys. Do it. Look around, guys. The Gnostic Jesus didn't say a single word. He didn't have a mouth. He was not a person. He did not exist. And if he did, he had multiple personality disorder. Oddly enough, the writings of the Gnostics lack the logic and reason of our reality. You can't see this anywhere. It doesn't match anything. How do we confirm this then? We don't. It's false and unobservable. Whereas this fella right here surely said it's as easy to observe as spring, summer, fall, and winter, fellas. So that not only is the knowledge not hidden, it's simple and easy to understand. You are God's, but if you do not obey the laws of reality as they are observable on every level around you, who do you think you are? You will fall like men. You're made of dust. You know who eats the dust? The devil. There is within you a divine spark. What are you gonna do with it? It's called your soul. And just like this flesh and blood, dust of the earth cannot inherit the celestial kingdoms of heaven above, there are bodies terrestrial and there are bodies celestial, and this is not a secret for the past 2,000 years or longer, I say. All of the ancients recognizing that the stars were surely a higher life form than we here on the earth. There is a physical body, there is also a spiritual body. Well, that's impossible, you might say. All right, well, let me rephrase it. There is a single-celled body, and there is a billions of cells body. He who endures to the end shall be saved. Y'all know what covenant means? It means if you will, then he will. And if you won't, then he won't. If a caterpillar will not make a cocoon, he does not get to be a moth. Is cause and effect not observable everywhere? Them's the rules here. Humans do not have free will. God alone is sovereign, having no one to answer to for whatever he decides to do. The consequence doesn't happen to him, it happens to what he makes. If I till the garden got tore up. Man has volition, a choice in every situation he finds himself in, the details of which are often not his to arrange, but rather to experience and decide, moment by moment, what he'll do. Will he do something stupid and mess up his life? Oh, this is easy to understand. Choices. We don't have free will, we have choices. Well, what are the choices? Well, it really boils down to obey the logic and reason of our reality in every situation or don't. Now, there is a way that seems right unto a man, but the ways thereof are death. They're contrary to the logic of our reality and do not produce life or more abundantly. And these are men who follow their heart that is desperately wicked and deceitful above all things. It's a cliche, your heart versus your brain, right? Right. Oh, am I making stuff up? When? That's what these fellas do, make stuff up. Whereas the Christian Jesus told you all reality in examples that are easy to understand and people refuse to understand or believe. That it could be that simple. Hey, wait, we're gods. Let's try to figure it out on our own. You are gods, but you shall die like men and fall like one of the princes, all the way into the pit of hell, trying to figure it out for yourself. There is a way that seems right unto a man. The ways thereof are death. We got plenty of human examples in history now of who chooses well and who chooses poorly. What did they believe when they made their decision, I wonder? That they were God while denying the very fabric of our time and space? I know everybody's gonna go on believing whatever it is they want, and the desires of their heart they will do. This fella promises to give you a new one. These fellas have rocks in their chest. Let every man choose this day who he shall follow, the God of heaven and earth, or himself. And then we can all see how far we get, and we're all gonna know the day we die, if we were right or wrong. You can put it to the test. The results will surely, most definitely, come in one day. For all of us, you all got a choice. Who are you gonna follow? Who are you gonna follow? I suggest you make it make sense first, which this fella never failed to do. Whereas this fella doesn't even agree with himself. Choose wisely. Hidden secret knowledge, or what is surely observable on every level, everywhere.